But I've promised you that we're going to be talking about Donald Trump, who says that Google have rigged searches against him. Let's find out how they would have done that. Possibly from Simon Marks, our LBC Washington correspondent. Simon, good to talk to you again. What's behind this then?
Well, I'd love to be able to tell you. It looks like Donald Trump woke up at the White House this morning at around 6:30 and, like most of us, of course, immediately went to Google and plugged his name into the search engine. And he wasn't very happy with what he saw, so he took to Twitter to say that they've got it rigged for me and others so that almost all stories and news is bad. Fake CNN is prominent. Republican, conservative and fair media is shut out. Illegal? ? He asks. And then there was more. He accused Google of surfacing news from national left-wing media, called it very dangerous, said they're hiding information and news that is good. This is a very serious situation. He wrote, it will be addressed. Now, I'm bound to say I have just entered the name Donald Trump into Google News's search engine, and while at the moment the top story that comes up is from CNN, the news service that is most ubiquitous currently, if you plug Trump News into the Google News search engine, is Fox News. So definitely not part of the national left-wing media that he was suggesting. Google has hit back with a statement. They say when users type queries into the Google search bar, our goal is to make sure they receive the most relevant answers in a matter of seconds. Search is not used to set a political agenda, and we don't bias our results towards any political ideology, which might explain why there's so many Fox News entries that come up currently when you search on Google News. Every year, they say, we issue hundreds of improvements to our algorithms to ensure that they surface high-quality content in response to users' queries. We never rank search results to manipulate political sentiment. Now, what Donald Trump means by looking into this and doing something about it is very unclear, but his chief economic advisor, Larry Kudlow, has told reporters that we're taking a look at it. We're doing some investigations and analysis, quite what they might seek to do from an executive level to try and tell Google how to organize their search algorithms is absolutely beyond me. One way of improving what you read on Google News about what's going on in the United States is not actually to search for Donald Trump's name. If you search for John McCain's name, you get all sorts of glowing tributes that crop up to a now, of course, fallen Republican politician. I'm also bound to say I searched the name Iain Dale a short while ago in Google News, and it says here that you've got a new website and that you are guaranteed to be blogging every day.
I have.
I didn't know.
IainDale.com. Lots more news today, Simon. Do you, look, confession time, do you ever search your own name? Because it can be quite horrific when you do, can't it? Particularly with your reputation.
Exactly. I haven't searched my own name for a while, Ian. Is it something you do often when you're having a dull moment at work?
I don't believe you.
It in there?
Don't believe you, Simon. But we'll leave it there. Actually, before you go,
yes, sir.
Donald Trump's reaction to John McCain's death. I mean, I thought he had plumbed the depths.
Yes,
but it seems not.
There are no depths. There is no flaw. I mean, it is impossible to understand just the basic lack of public decency and respect that anybody sitting in the Oval Office could offer to someone like John McCain. And John McCain, who comes from his own political party, a former presidential candidate for the Republican Party, even if you couldn't stand him and if you disagreed with him volubly, this absolute failure to offer anything other than the lamest of tributes. I mean, he spoke very briefly about John McCain, I think because the White House staff essentially forced him to at that gathering of Christian evangelicals last night. I think there's a really big issue here, which is Donald Trump's inability generally to pay tribute to Americans of note when they pass, and very specifically about John McCain and the fact that there are so many people out there from all sides of the aisle who view John McCain genuinely as an American patriot and an American hero, even if they disagree with him on bits and pieces of policy here and there. I wonder if this isn't ultimately going to do Donald Trump some serious political damage. I can tell you that I spoke last night to someone who was closely connected to John McCain, who surprised me by saying that he fervently believed that the events of the last 72 hours would ultimately contribute to Donald Trump's fall, and he was increasingly convinced that it's possible that we're heading towards impeachment and that Republicans up on Capitol Hill will eventually change their minds about Donald Trump and turn against him. Not now, not next week, but at some point in the future. I mean, so this has definitely fueled the notion that there's something very wrong taking place in the Oval Office.
Well, I wonder if Donald Trump will be searching Iain Dale Eddie Mayer. Scandalous content.
Well, I'm going to go and check it immediately myself.
I think you should.
After I've Googled my own name, of course.
Simon, thank you very much. That's Simon Marks, our Washington correspondent.